Hey everyone, welcome back. Please leave a like so this video is recommended to others, and hit that subscribe button so you can keep seeing videos just like this. Before we get into the video though, we need to talk about data brokers that sell your information. They sell your name, your email, your home address, all that information is out there. And that's why I'd love to talk to you about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura can show you which data brokers are selling your information, and they automatically submit opt-out requests for you. Personally, I get like 10 different phone calls a day from scammers every single day. Using Aura to clean up your information can help reduce spam, and it protects me from hackers that can use this information to get into any of my accounts, my bank account, my email address, and pretty much any other sensitive accounts that are out there. You also get other features like password management, VPNs, parental control, identity theft insurance, and so much more without having to download several different apps. It's really easy to set up, and you can get all these features for one affordable price. Aura always stays on, keeping me safe so I can concentrate on the things that are really important. I really value my privacy, and so should you. You can go to aura.com/Ahuevo to start your 2-week free trial, which will also be linked in the description down below. Thank you again to Aura for sponsoring this video, and again, you can get this deal by clicking the link in the description below.
Did you guys know that a dude fell off the boat into the water with the animatronic shark in 1990? But that wasn't the worst thing that has happened on this ride. 2 years after that incident, in 1992, a had jumped off the boat at this part of the ride and was bitten by the animatronic shark. Imagine being in the water with this guy. The kid was rescued, but he suffered so much loss by the time he got to the hospital that he had away. But before any of that even happened, technicians were in the water before the ride opened, and they were supposed to make sure that Jaws was more lifelike. And while working on him underwater, somehow the power got turned on, eliminating all the underwater technicians. And hours later, staff came by to find their floating bodies, and they thought it was part of the ride. People say the ride is cursed, and since then, they've closed the ride and replaced it with a Harry Potter ride. People have gone on to say that this ride also experiences all kinds of difficulties, and the ride is still cursed. But what do you guys think?
I had no idea. I've ridden the Jaws one before, that's crazy, and it scared the absolute crap out of me. I don't know if that's worse than a real shark. That sounds like pure nightmare fuel. Just imagine being in the water with that thing. First and last day working as a nanny. That's when you ask for hazard pay for having to put up with the demons trying to steal the baby. Using your own leg is part of a demonstration to show how chainsaw protecting pants work. Let's see how it goes. That's actually impressive. I hope they tested it on a piece of wood first though. I'm assuming that wasn't the first attempt.
There are several theories that suggest we may be living in a simulation or maybe a Matrix type system. The first person to write about this was Nick Bostrom, who wrote a paper saying that it's very difficult to disprove or prove this theory. And there are certain videos out there that will leave anyone baffled and scratching their heads, and the video that I'm about to show you guys is one of them. Check this out, pay very close attention.
From the flashlight, I don't get it. I don't get it either. How am I just seeing? Put it back.
Check this out.
How are we seeing the shadow of the tree from the flashlight when it's the sky behind the tree? And why is there a stop point at the end of my flashlight when it's pointed at the sky? Why isn't it going on further?
What is this?
Don't cuss.
Strange, isn't it? But it gets even stranger as the video goes on. I'm going to show you guys the rest of the video, but before I do so, a lot of people were saying that this is clouds, these are clouds or fog. Others were saying that this is because we live in the Truman Show or because we live in a firmament. I'm not exactly sure about that. What I do know, and I agree with this, is that do you think that the clouds are that close to the tree? I mean, no disrespect by any means, but that's awfully close to the tree line. I'm not exactly sure if fog or clouds would be that close to the tree. Not only that, it's equally close to all of the trees. This is what fog looks like. It's moving, it has wind, it's not equally close to anything, it doesn't have a pattern. In this video, I'm going to show you guys the rest. There seems to be a pattern. like a wall behind the tree. And the owner of the video says that she was personally there, of course. She says it's not clouds and it's not fog. So, I don't know.
There's a shadow in the sky.
You see the shadow?
Hold on, let me see if I can zoom.
Check this out.
There's a shadow.
And like, I don't get it.
You're going too fast, honey.
Why?
Okay.
We see the circle of light. I don't feel like I've ever seen that before in my life.
I've
I
never
don't
seen
think I
this
have
in my
either.
life.
Not in the sky. It just kind of disappears, you know?
Look at that.
I wonder if I was standing in front of the house if I could see this. Because you know those party lights? Like the party lasers and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely fog, but it is kind of weird that it's so uniform like that. It really is like a ceiling, basically. That is friggin' amazing, man. I love that. I would trust that little bird with my life.
Check this out. Storm's coming in. That's all rain out there and lightning, and this parasailer's stuck. It's so windy they can't reel him in. Oh, dude, if it snaps, look, dude, he's got to be scared.
He's stuck?
Is everybody panicking, trying to help? Damn, he's going. Oh, holy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey. Dude.
That is a new fear unlocked. I had no idea you could get stuck midair like that. At least it looks like he hovered back to land. He'd probably be super screwed if it pushed him out to the ocean.
If you think about it, chickens are kind of like the gateway drug to conspiracy theories. So I think if you get chickens, you ultimately will become a conspiracy theorist. And here's the reason why I say that. Because you're going to get chickens, right? You're going to love having chickens. You're going to realize that they taste different. So you're going to start looking into, why do they taste different? Why do they look different? Why is the yolk darker? And then you're going to do that and you're going to realize that it's because they're not factory farmed. Then you're going to realize what factory farmed eggs look like. And then you're going to look at other foods, okay? Which means you're going to try to separate yourself from the food system a little bit. After you do that, you're going to realize some of the medicinal properties in food and in your garden, like garlic and honey and all of those things. And then you're going to start feeling a little skeptical about the pharmaceutical world. And ultimately, what I'm saying is if you go to Tractor Supply, look at all the cute little chicks, just realize you will ultimately become a conspiracy theorist if you do so. But the eggs are good.
Yeah, that's 100% the easiest rabbit hole to fall into. It's a good rabbit hole though. You should know that food is processed and a lot of it is bad for you. I'm not against like taking medicine or just eating processed food, but I like taking a healthier approach to things. A lot of times you just need to go on a long walk, have you some high protein meals, and you feel a little bit better. Oh dear God. What happened? Is that the first time they've opened this gate? Dude, it's not even connected to anything. What? Dude, who installed this? That makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't know what happened there. South Asia is not for beginners. Oh my god. Even though that video was sped up, they're still driving like psychopaths. I guess safety is more of a personal choice, more of a suggestion, not really required by law.
Alright, check this out because you want to hear this. We all know that Alzheimer's is one of the most scariest things a person can be diagnosed with. But what if I told you it can all be traced back to this right here? Yep, butter. Or should I say margarine? Stick with me, because if you're even remotely concerned about having a long, healthy life, you'll want to hear this. If you have this or any other kind of butter in your fridge, throw it out. It's not butter. If you put margarine on a plate with real butter, ants and other animals won't even touch the margarine. They'll go straight for the real butter. All these so-called butter brands label themselves as a vegetable spread, even though they're made with zero vegetables. In the early 1900s, when margarine became popular, they figured that since beans grew on a stalk, that they could go and tell people that it was made from vegetables because people would think that it's healthy. I don't know how, but somehow they got away with this and they still do it today. Margarine is almost completely made up of the oil from these beans. Soybean oil, palm kernel oil, and palm oil. All three of the worst lab-created oils for your heart and cholesterol. 75% of the brain is made up of myelin, and myelin is made up of 100% of cholesterol. And there has been countless studies of soybean oil and the negative effects it has on the brain. The University of Minnesota even found a direct link to diacetyl, an ingredient used in margarine, directly to Alzheimer's. Found that diacetyl contributes to the exact same protein cluster that is associated with Alzheimer's disease. These oils in margarine are trans fats. A recent study in the Journal of Neurology found that people with higher level of trans fats found in their body were 50 to 75% more likely to develop Alzheimer's later on in life. Margarine didn't get popular till right around World War II, because there was a massive shortage of animal fats that was being used to create explosives and gunpowder. And also they needed something to carry around that wouldn't go bad, aka preservatives. And when margarine became really popular, countries like Canada banned it because they knew how bad it was for people. And even some states in the United States even made it illegal to even sell, while other states passed laws that it had to be colored to make it less appealing. They would put these color packs inside, so you would have to mix it and make it a certain color. So when you go to the store, make sure you are buying 100% real butter, because this stuff right here is just not good for you.
Isn't it ironic that all that I can't believe is not butter came out as an alternative to real butter, as a healthy alternative? It's just like with artificial sweeteners. I think those can cause cancer too, right? And that's supposed to substitute sugar. Oh, what is this? Oh my god. I think bro's there on his first day on the job. He showed up ready to work. Well, there's only two logical explanations for that. One, it was his first day on the job, or two, he was there to buy a phone, and he was confused about where he should stand.
That's a full-size house floating across the water. No, it's not full house, it's just full size. It looks to be a two-story home. It has a sign on it referencing the Anchors Out community. That's a group of people living in houseboats on the bay. Our partners at the San Francisco Chronicle report officials have been trying to remove the houseboats over safety and environmental concerns. And they say the number of boats anchored in the bay has shrunk from about 400 in 2016 to about 40 last month.
I have so many questions. How do you get electricity? How do you flush your toilet? How do you shower? And do you have to pay property taxes? This looks like the ultimate life hack. My pet creep? Dude, that thing is acting crazy. I don't think he wants to be your pet, man. Not even spiders look that aggressive. I didn't even know you could keep those as pets. Unless it's just yours that's aggressive. Definitely not for me. That looks absolutely amazing. gravity park. Huh. Is that thing filled with water? It looks like it. It's a little grainy. That looks pretty fun. Unless you have a weak stomach. Then it's probably not fun anymore if you're swashing around in your vomit, basically. Probably not a good time to have explosive diarrhea. Yeah, diarrhea too.
That's carried over to the ceremonial first pitch, which I can't decide whether that's the worst first pitch in baseball history.
Well, there goes a probably $10,000 camera.
If you're thinking about ignoring your gut instinct, don't. Here are 3 reasons why you should trust it. Reddit user Kylan13 said that he went out on a couple of dates with the girl, but he got a weird vibe from her, so he didn't stay in touch. She stabbed her next boyfriend 2 months later. Megan said that she was being pursued by a man. He kept coming into the bar that she worked at and was constantly asking her out. Directly, there was nothing wrong or troubling about him. She just got a terrible feeling whenever he was talking to her. She would feel terribly sick. All of her female coworkers kept egging her on to go on a date with this man, though. She kept saying, no, something about him makes me sick. Eventually, one of her friends convinced her to go on a double date with her and her boyfriend and this man. It only lasted about 2 hours before Megan said she wasn't feeling well and got a cab home. She didn't see the man for a couple of weeks, so she thought that maybe he had gotten the hint. But no. The same friend who pressured her into going on a double date called Megan, yelling hysterically. She said that she would never doubt Megan's judgment again and forwarded her a news story about how the same man was just arrested a couple of days before for the murder of a woman he was dating. So the entire time that he was trying to convince Megan to go on a date, he had already strangled and killed another woman and set her house on fire to try and cover it up. A former Reddit user said that she was sitting in her bedroom one day when she got this intense feeling in her gut, which was sort of saying, you need to get out of here right now. Then she started to get this immense feeling of terror, like she was being watched. She immediately got out of there and went to a friend's house. When she finally got back home, her house had been ransacked. Things had been knocked over, lots of glass had been broken everywhere, and a window was left wide open. She says that now she always takes that gut feeling more seriously.
It's a spidey sense, man. I feel like some people don't have that. It is kind of funny though. A lot of times when you do ignore your gut feeling, I feel like bad things do happen, even if it's something stupid.
This is a Husky that got loose and his owners couldn't find him, so they used a drone to try to go search around the woods near their house. Look at this.
What? Oh my God.
He's just chilling with some grizzly bears. I don't think he's in that shot, but watch, they're flying this drone and then he's just like chilling with these grizzly bears for a few days.
Whoa.
And then he went back home. They must have just thought he was like a wolf or something. I don't know. Isn't that crazy?
And they
watch,
seem
this guy
so...
kind of
give him a little
swats
correction.
He gives him a little pop right there.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Gentle. That is, and
Just
by the way, where is
chilling.
this house? Like, there's just a multitude of bears just running around.
Don't know. This must be like Alaska or something.
That's exactly how dogs are. You give them food, you give them shelter, love, and they'd rather hang out with a bunch of monsters, basically.
But at once, I'm going to say it again. The cave system in this country has something to do with the missing people in this country. They just found a inside of this cave. This is Carlsbad Cavern in New Mexico. They just found humans, and they don't know who this human is. I do not. Look, this article is from April 12th of this year, and it states humans were found in Carlsbad Cavern in a national park in a cave they can't identify. But I'm tripping. Now, to back up my claim that the cave system and the national parks are suspicious and they're the reason for missing people in this country, look at this map. The top map is search and rescue hotspots throughout the country and national parks. The bottom is the cave system. I'm sorry, but anywhere there's a cave, search and rescue numbers are very high. I'm telling y'all right now, something suspicious as is going on in these caves. Even if you take the cave system out of the entire equation, why are over 1,600 people missing inside of the national parks? This is a map of current missing people. Now, this isn't all of them because not all of them are reported, but the blue dots are males, purple dots are females. And I'm sorry, but I don't have the cave system up right here with it, but I can already tell you right now, this follows the cave system. I'll say it again. What the going on in these caves?
I mean, Cheap is kind of right. They are a little bit shady. I mean, if you think about it, it's the perfect place for people to do very bad things, so. And a lot of people are always super unprepared when they go hiking, man.
Getting weird. Part Infinity.
And finally tonight, we'd like to show you some of the 100 or so new species scientists believe they discovered amid the underwater mountains off the coast of Chile. They were found using an underwater robot capable of diving more than 14,000 feet. More than just enriching scientists' understanding of ocean life, researchers say it demonstrates how the Chilean government's ocean protections are bolstering biodiversity and providing a model for other countries. This unknown species of sea toad looks like something Dr. Seuss might have created. It was found under more than 4,500 feet of water.
Sea toad?
Behold the beady-eyed gaze of a squat lobster resting in coral about 2,200 feet below the surface. Just before this member of a rarely seen family of whiplash squid had its picture snapped, it squirted ink, perhaps a reaction to seeing an alien-looking object alongside it more than 3,600 feet down. Scientists say identifying them all could take years. With about 70% of the Earth's surface covered by oceans and only a fraction of it having been explored, who knows how many more unknown and unusual creatures have yet to be discovered.
Or, hear me out, we could stop right here, right now, and just end it. End the search into the ocean. We could. We have the well, I was going to say we have the capability to, but we're not in control. The scientists are going to look for whatever they want to look for. Because I feel like the more and more these robots get advanced, the deeper and 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 deeper into the ocean. That's what she said. They're going to go. And I just feel like we're going to find something that we don't need to find.
Why though? Regardless if we find it or not, it's still down there. I think they should explore more of the ocean. I don't know why we waste time going to outer space when we literally keep finding new species in the ocean all the time. No, poor little guy just wants a hamster wheel. Or a possum wheel. That was a possum, right? I think it was.
Scientists have discovered that a volcano in Antarctica is spewing out roughly $6,000 worth of gold every single day. Antarctica lacking a whole lot of democracy right now. The continent is home to hundreds of active volcanoes, but Mount Erebus, which is located here, for anyone looking, has been discovered to have tiny crystals of metallic gold loaded in its gusts of gas. Scientists estimate that the volcano spews out around 80 grams of gold a day, which is worth around $6,000. That's a yearly salary of $2.19 million.
Wow. Infinite money glitch. I'm moving to Antarctica. So who technically owns the volcano then? Has anybody called dibs?
This is Menugate, and they might be watching you right now. So this guy, Cody, recently moved into an apartment in Atlanta and is told the building is entirely full and has no vacancies. And one day he notices every single door in his hallway has a Chinese restaurant menu in it. 2 days go by, and not a single menu was removed from any doorway. Another day, they are all still there, and even the next day, and the day after that. 5 days go by, and the menus are still there. What's going on here? Has not one of his neighbors left their unit for 5 whole days? Or maybe it's, you know, just a glitch in the simulation that we're all a part of. Like the grocery simulation theory. Think about this for a sec. Have you ever actually seen your neighbors bringing their groceries inside? Because I don't think I have. Anyway, Cody goes down to the garage to investigate and realizes that almost all cars were completely covered in dust, like they've never been touched. Then at night, he goes outside to check for lights in the windows. Some of them are on, but most aren't. He peeks into one with the lights on and it has no furniture. Another day, the fire alarm goes off, so Cody exits his unit and sees no one in the hallways or outside his building. Maybe everyone just stayed inside in a building that's supposed to have 800 residents. A different time, he goes outside around his building to look around and notices every single coffee shop and little ground ground floor patio he walks by had exactly one man sitting at a table, wearing a suit, on the phone, all having the exact same conversation about some business presentation. Then another day, it seems like a new neighbor is moving in when he finds freshly packed furniture outside of a unit. Except this furniture just sits there for 3 days, then disappears. People start saying he's reading into things too much, that it's just a vacant complex with owners that plan on renting the units out. But then a past tenant DMs him, saying they also noticed shady business going down when they were living there. And a bunch of other weird shit happens in a short time span, like the stairway gets flooded, he finds biohazard bags in a truck outside, his parking garage gets closed down after a potential and one time he actually sees someone else going into the stairwell and they disappear, leading some people to believe that this man is living in some sort of simulation. Obviously this could be totally fake and the guy just staged everything, or it could even just be a completely innocent empty building. Worth noting, this guy's also a legit lawyer and I can't see why he'd want to risk his reputation lying about something like this. But still, others claim it's something far more devious. An ongoing covert social psychology experiment to analyze how an unsuspecting subject would react to isolation and all the other funny business going down here, possibly living in a completely staged pocket of society and even getting recorded by hidden cameras in a real-life version of the Truman Show.
That's funny, because if this happened to me, it'd be a while before I realized anything was off. I'm just a little bit of an introvert, so I would not have noticed any of these things. But I don't see an issue here, man. You have a whole entire apartment building to yourself.
A 23-year-old exchange student from Brazil was left paralyzed after eating a can of soup. This is Claudia de Albuquerque Salada. She was living in Aspen, Colorado when all of this went down in February, and she had been in America on an exchange program. So one day in February, Claudia began to feel ill at work. She was experiencing a shortness of breath, blurred vision, and dizziness. She went home that evening, but it wasn't bad enough to go to the hospital. The next day, however, she messaged her family and friends and said that the sickness was only getting worse. And when her friends arrived to bring her to the hospital, she could barely breathe on her own and her face was almost entirely paralyzed. Now, they believe that Claudia had contracted botulism, which is a very, very rare disease that is contracted usually from eating contaminated foods. Apparently, it took 15 days after Claudia's first symptom appeared to diagnose her with botulism. But at that point, she was too far gone. And botulism is a pretty disease. It's a very rare but serious illness that attacks the body's system through a toxin. So we don't have any formal update on Claudia yet, but she has been left almost completely paralyzed. And with hospital bills being over $10,000 a day here in America, her bill was absolutely enormous.
What? From a can of soup, dude? That is terrifying. I need to know a little bit more about this because this is kind of scary. So she got botulism because a can of food wasn't sealed properly. Botulism is very rare in the US, only about 100 cases a year. If it looks strange, dented, or leaking, stay away from it. So I guess if the seal is broken, I'll usually eat it even if it's dented. Maybe I should stop that. That is scary, dude. I won't be doing that anymore. Curious polar bear gets a closer look. Ooh. Oh no. Is that the end of it? I don't know what happened after this video, but even the seagull was trying to warn him. He was telling him to run. Well guys, that's all I have today. Thanks for hanging out with me again. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, you're awesome and I appreciate you. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.